One Piece chapter 1152 just came out, and boy, Oda is cooking. So this chapter is called A Terrible Day, and straight away let's get into it. Zoro's been leaking Conqueror's Haki this whole time, and he didn't even know. Shanks has a hidden tattoo that might connect him to the world government, and what the hell happened on the terrible day that Gaban and Shanks are still haunted by. This week's chapter will dive into Elbaf's past. It reveals ancient betrayal and shows us what being the child of destiny truly means. So just a quick recap. It's a title of the chapter is called A Terrible Day. On the cover, we've got Yamato gifting Kawamatsu a hat made by Otama. And Gaban, he tells Luffy that the Holy Knights aren't invincible. But that's one of the biggest things that came out of this chapter. And that Luffy must refine his Conqueror's Haki. So it looks like we're going to get a lot of Conqueror's Haki training before the final battle. We've also found out that Zoro also has Conqueror's Haki, but he didn't know it. So it looks like Sanji's going to be a bit overshadowed again. So for all the Sanji fans, hopefully he gets it soon. We've got Luffy asking Loki to join his crew, which again is insane because how is Loki going to fit on the ship? I don't get it. But we've got Zoro, Sanji and Hyrule. They're saying, hell no, please don't invite Loki to join the crew. We've got Gaban revealing that he, Shanks, Loki and Hyrule were all in Elbaf during a mysterious, quote, terrible day. So 14 years ago, Loki finds his father, King Harald, dead, betrayed by his own soldiers. Shanks and Gaban in a hot spring, and Gaban says that Shanks is the destined boy. And then we get a flashback from 109 years ago, which shows a young Harald rampaging through the human kingdom. So just to start our analysis, we've got Gaban confirming that multiple Straw Hats have Conqueror's Haki. So interestingly, we've known, I feel like as the audience, that Zoro has had Conqueror's Haki. Kaido mentioned it in the previous arc, and Zoro just seemed to be confused by it and just said he's got no idea what Kaido's talking about, but he'll fight regardless. And Zoro's been leaking Haki, which is pretty funny and terrifying. He's just been leaking it, so he needs to refine his Conqueror's Haki. Luffy said that he's known Zoro's had it the whole time and he was shocked that Zoro didn't realize. Gaban clearly has realized. The only person that didn't realize is Zoro, so that's obviously big kudos to Zoro. For all the Sanji fans out there, it's looking tough to be a Sanji fan right now, if I'm being honest. Do not go on Twitter, do not go on Reddit, because it's not a good day to be a Sanji fan, if I'm being quite honest. But yeah, it was pretty funny in the chapter where Luffy just seemed to be super shocked by the fact that Zoro had no idea he had Conqueror's Haki this whole time, which is a funny little bit in the chapter. We've also got Shanks saying that he didn't want power. He never wanted power. He just wanted to chill with Buggy the whole time. He didn't want to go out for the One Piece. He just wanted to live a jolly good pirate life with Buggy, which of course is interesting because Buggy told Shanks first that he wanted to go out and get the One Piece after Roger died, but Shanks said no, he didn't want to do that. It's not what he wants. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff that Oda's cooking here that we're going to find out about. We've also got Gaban's wisdom, where he told Shanks, you can't, you're the destined boy, which we don't know what that means. Clearly there could be something to do with Shanks being related to the world government, something about him being a celestial dragon, something that Gaban might know, because obviously Gaban's seen the One Piece, he knows what it is. So it's very interesting to find out what that means. You're the destined boy. What does that mean about Shanks? Is he going to be very, influential? I mean, we know that he's going to be very influential in helping Luffy in defeating the celestial dragons. It'll be interesting to see what happens. We also find out that Shanks had the tattoo of the abyss that all these sort of celestial dragons and holy knights have, which helps them teleport and regenerate, which is very interesting. And it seems to be something that Imu gives to people. We don't know how Shanks got it. Is it something that he was born with? Is it something that holy knights are born with? Is it something that we know that celestial dragons don't have it, but Shanks had it. Now, of course, theories are running wild that Shanks, he lost his arm on purpose to the sea beast because that's where the tattoo was, and maybe that's what severed his connection to Imu and everyone else, and that's why Imu can't just sort of teleport him anywhere and why he lost his regeneration power. So very interesting. So just to get into the theories of it all, Shanks and the government, could he be a celestial dragon? It's very interesting. He's got the mark of the abyss, which all the holy knights seem to have. It's what connects them to Imu. It's how Imu was able to control the different holy knights, and he's able to teleport them, and they're all able to regenerate, which is very interesting. And Harold's death, Now we know that it wasn't Loki, or still don't know who killed King Harald, but it wasn't Loki, and I feel like we've known that. But was it a possible coup to protect Elbaf's alliance? Who did it? Who sort of influenced that from the background, and what happened there? We don't know. The giant pirates, they might be the world's final defense against the government. Clearly they've got a lot of influence, and there's a lot of important stuff happening there. So the giant pirates, they're going to be huge, and we've known that from the beginning. We knew that Elbaf was going to be a serious arc where we learn a lot about the final war and their influence on the final war. So that will be interesting to see what happens there. And just let's go into predictions. I think it's very clear that the Elbaf war arc is coming. I feel like the next arc will be the big war. We've still got a lot of cards to play, such as Dragon. I feel like we've all been waiting for that, but I feel like Imu's made a move, and everyone sort of made a move, and the Holy Knights and the Gorosei, they've all made their moves. We just need Luffy to, I guess, mobilize his entire fleet, and Zoro's obviously got his Conqueror's Haki, and we're learning more about how to defeat the Holy Knights and the Gorosei and how to stop them from regenerating, and Gaban has taught us that, and it looks like he's going to teach Luffy and Zoro how to do that. So I feel like the big war's coming. We've got the stolen devil fruit, which could tie Joy Boy and Uranus. There's a stolen devil fruit somewhere in here, and it'll be interesting to find out what happens. How is that related to Joy Boy and the ancient weapon Uranus? And yeah, I feel like Zoro is going to be trained by Gaban. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Luffy. Is Zoro and Luffy going to be trained together by Gaban? It'll be an interesting dynamic, because usually we've just seen Luffy being trained alone. And also we got Vegapunk's broadcast, which will reveal the truth. It looks like Vegapunk's broadcast will come out soon, and that's going to continue to reveal everything from the past, from the Void Century, and everything that's happening now with the world government. I've got some fan comments that I found on Twitter. Zoro leaking Conqueror's Haki like a broken faucet is peak comedy. It was really funny. So read the chapter and look at the panel. It is really funny from Oda, to be honest. And then someone said, I'm gonna go cry now. Shanks just wanted to vibe with Buggy, which is really funny, to be honest. Shanks didn't want any of this. He didn't want to fight. He didn't want the power. He didn't want anything. He just wanted to chill with Buggy, which is pretty awesome, to be honest. And then that tattoo on Shanks' arm is going to break the internet. Yes, it will. I can't wait to find out more about that. And yeah, let's end this up. So what do you guys think really happened on that terrible day? What is the terrible day? What happened on that day? Is Shanks hiding something darker than we've ever imagined? Drop your theories below, what you think is going to happen, and if you think Zoro is about to go King of Hell 2.0, smash that like button, subscribe for more weekly chapter breakdowns, because this is just the beginning.